There's a lot of routes to take and choices to make in Tactics Ogre Reborn. For those of you who are new to the game, this has clued you in to the idea that there must be a number of recruitable secret characters. And you'd be right. The recruitment requirements for characters get more complicated in later chapters, but today, we're starting simple. We're going to go over the recruits of Chapter 2 Chaos Route and some basic strategy for using them. Let's begin. Hello everyone, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman. If you find my content fun, entertaining, or educational, please subscribe. My goal now is to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year. So as to not make it look like I'm just trying to move goalposts here, this was my original New Year's resolution before I scaled things back for the year. But with all the support y'all have showed, we might just get there after all. And if we do, we're throwing a party with a 24-hour live stream. So thank you for the support, and I hope you enjoy. On the Chaos Route of Chapter 2, there are 4 notable recruits. Now, if you don't want spoilers for Chapter 2, turn back now. I'm not worried about spoiling people for the characters per se. These are not particularly noteworthy story reveals or anything, but just if you don't want to know how the chapter plays out, click away. Otherwise, these are the recruits. The recruits that you are able to get in Chapter 2 Chaos are Arycelle the Archer, Cistina the Valkyrie, Folcurt the Knight, and Bayin the Wizard. Let's start with Arycelle. Arycelle is the first of these 4 who you can recruit. Encountering her very early on in Chapter 2, you will do battle with her, causing her to flee. Later on at Ziad Mor, you'll encounter Arycelle under attack by enemy forces. You must keep her alive in the ensuing battle, which is a potentially challenging task given her poor starting position and aggressive behavior. If you do so, she will join you as a guest. You must then again keep her alive through every battle in which she joins you. If she dies at any point, you will have to reload, or you will miss your chance to recruit this legendary archer. So, consider bringing an escort force of at least 1 healer and knight. Once you reach the battle at Tinamouth Hill, you will have to protect Arycelle one last time before she finally throws in the towel and joins you completely. As an archer, Arycelle has kind of gotten the short end of the stick in Reborn. You see, in Let Us Cling Together, archers were by far the strongest class in the game to a ridiculous degree. As a unique unit with bonus stats, this made Arycelle even more absurdly strong, turning her into a one-woman army with very little effort. Now in Reborn, archers have been severely weakened, as their base damage is quite low. However, to balance things out a bit, they do get big multipliers against light armor, or units who have had their armor bonus removed or reduced. So now, archers need the help of other units who can reduce enemy armor to reach their full potential. Note, too, that Arycelle does still have superior stats when compared to generic archers, as you can see here. So, most notable about that is her naturally lower RT of 70, compared to my archer Tenchi's 76. So Arycelle is quick, and she still is better than the average archer, so it's worth trying her out at least. To make the best use of Arycelle, you're going to want to equip her with a great bow and place her at the highest point on the map you can reach. The extra range afforded to her by such a position will make it far easier to pick out and hit vulnerable targets. You should also consider bringing a Beast Tamer with the Lobber ability and Dynast King's Mead, which is a consumable that inflicts breach on a target, as well as a melee unit equipped with a breach-inflicting forged weapon, and or some Terror Knights to fear enemies. Breach and Fear will massively increase Arycelle's damage potential due to the bonus scaling of bows, and will help her really earn that title of Thunder Maiden. Next we have Folcurt, Bayin, and Cistina, who you will recruit together after their quest. Note that to start this quest, Cistina must have survived the battle where you meet her in Chapter 1. You'll start off in Chapter 2 meeting Folcurt after the battle at Chrysaro, where he'll ask you to help him save his companions from the Liberation Front. Meaning, like, rescue his companions who are members of the Liberation Front, not rescue them from the Liberation Front who's attacking them. For context. Agree to do so, and he will join as a guest for the battle at Cadrica Fortress, where you will then meet Bayin. Note that, just like with Arycelle, both men must survive this battle to continue on and recruit the trio, which shouldn't be much of a concern for the tanky, healing magic-equipped Folcurt. Bayin, on the other hand, seems determined to get himself killed in as many ways as possible and as stupidly as possible, so be ready with healing items and backup. Successfully escorting the two through Cadrica will see Bayin asking you to join him for one last rescue effort at To Fortress, where Cistina is being held. Agree to help, despite Cachua's never-ending protestations, and Bayin will also join. Now you'll face your final battle. Proceed through To Fortress, defeat, or spare, if you'd like, the boss, while again ensuring that Folcurt stays up and Bayin's self-destructive tendencies don't lead to his early demise, and you will once again meet with Cistina. She too will join as a guest until you reach Boad Fortress. After the events that take place there, you can finally request that the trio join you, which they will. Unlike Arycelle, who unquestionably lost her luster in the transition to Reborn, I would argue that Cistina, Folcurt, and Bayin all got stronger. Cistina has the benefit of being a Valkyrie, one of the better classes in the game now. As a unique unit, she has almost universally better stats than my patron-created rune fencer Guillaume, with her lower RT, higher physical attack, physical and magical defense, and higher HP. Cistina starts off using wind magic, but I personally prefer to switch her to light affinity and give her light magic instead. Thanks to her good speed, she makes for a great support caster and healer, while also doing very good damage. Next up is Folcurt, who makes for an excellent frontliner when comparing his stats to my main tank, Dagny. We can see that his are superior to hers in every way, with his better attack, defense, magic, HP, and a full 10 RT lower with 76 to her 86. The only thing he doesn't beat Dagny at is her max MP, and let's be honest here, that's probably the least important to have maxed out. Thanks to his superior stats, Folcurt makes for a great wielder of Rampart R and Phalanx, putting himself right in the path of the enemy and keeping them from moving forward. He's also a good choice to wield a forged weapon with a debuff on it, as he's more likely to survive getting to close range with a boss to hit them with it. I also have to say I'm interested in potentially making him a Terror Knight, as again his superior stats will just make it easier for him to get to the front line and then stay there than it is for a generic TK. This would take a bit more work, as we would need to get a new weapon skill online for him, since he would no longer be able to use his sword and shield, but it wouldn't be impossible. If you try this, let me know. Finally, we have Bayin. Compared to Cistina and Folcurt, the differences between Bayin and a generic wizard are not as stark. Bayin only gets 2 less RT than my wizard Volandis, although he does have much better defenses and magical attacks. The thing I'm most disappointed about, however, is that Bayin doesn't have significantly higher mind, as it would have made him a great status effect and debuff caster. That said, he still does make for a very solid caster if you don't already have one, or just want another to cover a different elemental type or more debuffs. After all, in Tactics Ogre Reborn, debuffs and status effects are king, so having a few extra to throw around is never a bad idea. As far as builds are concerned, there's not much different to do with Bayin early in the game compared to your other mages, although he might make a good warlock. I've not yet had the chance to test that, so again, if you do, please let us know. Also, if you try any other interesting builds for any of these characters that work out well for you, I'd love to hear about those as well. And those are the 4 characters that you can get in Chapter 2 Chaos. Next up will be Chapter 3 Chaos, after I've had a chance to clear that, and then Chapter 4, where some of the truly difficult to find characters start becoming available. So look forward to that, should be good. If you want to get early access to these guides, consider joining my Patreon. You'll get 1-day early access to my guides, access to my scripts, and some other nice benefits. Again, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you found this entertaining or educational. I appreciate all the support that the channel has seen in the last week. You guys are the best. Please keep requesting topics and asking questions, and I'll keep putting out content. With all of that said, though, Have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other. Bye now.